Hey there guys, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the review of tonight's game at Anfield, the final score being Liverpool 3, Arsenal 3. The overriding emotion is of course devastation, but in that final 20 minutes of the game, given the way we were playing, I was kind of half-heartedly expecting Liverpool to score, which I know sounds absolutely terrible to say, but given the way we were backing off them, allowing them to put that pressure on us, it kind of almost looked like we were inevitably going to concede in this match. And it is rather concerning that at this point in the season, we're still not taking advantage of other teams' misfortunes. United dropped points midweek, City dropped points. I mean, Leicester even beat Spurs, which I know puts them level with us, but I mean, we still had a chance to capitalise on our rivals in and around the Premier League, so it's really frustrating we haven't been able to do that tonight. And it does kind of relay cause for concern, because what if City were to pick up a bit of form and they start taking advantage of our misfortunes? Somewhere along the line, we've got to start turning these draws into wins. We've got to be getting more points on the board in the games that we should be winning, because at some point it can cost us a little bit further down the line. We should be quite thankful, in fact, that City aren't winning games that they are meant to at times. So yeah, I mean, a point at Anfield on paper does look like a fairly decent result, but it's almost a carbon copy of exactly what happened last season. Conceding a goal right at the very end of the game to Joe Allen, of all people. You've got to say, took his goal well, but he's the last person on earth that I would have expected to get a goal for Liverpool right at the end of that match. But it was a game absolutely filled with adrenaline, high-tempo football, really exciting game in fairness. It was a great game for the neutral, but for an Arsenal fan, it almost does feel like a loss right at the end of that game. The game started off incredibly poorly for us. There's no guessing about it. We started this game absolutely abysmally. Liverpool had some really great chances early in on goal, and they took a chance really early on in the game through Roberto Firmino, a goal that really was made of our own doing. Theo Walcott, real cockiness, I think, trying to dribble the ball out from his own penalty area, really, in that kind of position. He's not the only player to do it. A lot of Arsenal players seem to get into the habit of dribbling the ball out in positions. Koscielny doing it against Sunderland, just got to hoof the ball out in those situations where you're under high intensity, high pressure. And Walcott should have known better, and he didn't. He tried to dribble the ball out, was tackled, won off it easily. Bit of scrambling around the box. It falls to Firmino, who plants it past Petr Cech, 1-0 very early on. And it did look like it could potentially be one of those matches that goes similarly to the way Southampton went a couple of weeks ago. And given the way we were playing, half-heartedly expecting it to go that way, because we looked absolutely shocking in that opening 10-15 minutes. But almost immediately, Aaron Ramsey gets a goal back about 5 minutes later. Fantastic work by Joel Campbell yet again, who had another stellar performance. He plays a wonderful ball into the feet of Ramsey, who made a tidy finish past Mignolet. Great goal there past the goalkeeper, and a fantastic finish by Aaron Ramsey. So really glad to see Ramsey get on the score sheet. 1-1, and I thought we'd pick up the pace a little bit more after that point, which we arguably did, but it was Liverpool who were next on the score sheet. Again, Firmino, the goal scorer, once more with an absolute worldie of a goal, which we couldn't really do much about. Can't really argue with it, to be fair. But again, poor sloppy defending, laying off Liverpool far too much, allowing them that chance on goal. But once again, almost immediately after that, Olivier Giroud gets himself on the score sheet. Wonderful corner whipped in by Mesut Ozil to Giroud, who just flicks it in with his right foot past Mignolet. An absolute howler by the goalkeeper there. Certainly not Mignolet's best night, but he puts it in to make it 2-2, level things up. And towards the second end of that first half, we really did start to play better football, some scintillating stuff. Joel Campbell really at the heart of everything we did positive going forward. The one thing you could say, when Liverpool were playing on the counter-attack, they really did look dangerous, especially in that second half. Aaron Ramsey really leaving Flamini on his own at times. He was really bombarding up the pitch and really leaving us exposed in the midfield. In fact, we didn't seem to have much of a midfield in this first half. Ramsey seemed to be part of the attack more than the midfield, leaving Flamini on his own, and Flamini, in my opinion, had a relatively poor game. We really missed Francis Coquelin in this match, and I'm really hoping when El Nene comes into the side, he possibly may feature against Stoke, because we need a little bit more grit in the midfield. So that's something we're really lacking with at this moment in time. As well as that, I think we really missed Alexis Sanchez. We had so many chances in that first half that we should have buried, and it could have quite easily been 4-5-2 to us at that point in the game. But unfortunately for us, we didn't really have too many finishes on the pitch at that moment, and we couldn't get the ball in the back of net when we needed to. Walcott was a bit disappointed with his finishing. Giroud had a fantastic chance to make it 3-2. Walcott providing a really good cross in. Giroud, I don't even know how he missed it. It looked harder to miss, but unfortunately for us, he did so, and we went into the half at 2-2. So going out into that second half, it was us that came out again on top, having a very early chance through Joel Campbell. Wonderful work by Mesut Ozil, playing in a scintillating cross to Campbell, who could have done a little bit better with his effort, but it was always going to be difficult. Campbell on the night was the standout performer for me, and he was essential in the goal that we scored rather early on in that second half through Olivier Giroud, which was wonderful work. A lovely Arsenal build-up play to this goal. Campbell plays it into Olivier Giroud. Giroud takes it on the turn and fires it past Mignolet. An absolutely emphatic finish past the goalkeeper. over. A goal he thoroughly deserved. Arsenal's man of the match on the night, and he played some absolutely fantastic stuff, and it was great to see Giroud get 2 more goals on his Arsenal books tonight. Great stuff to see from him, and he really is making a name for himself at Arsenal. I really was saying before the game that we could possibly drop him and bring Theo Walker into that centre forward role. Really did prove me wrong tonight. Played a fantastic game, and great to see Giroud get even more goals to his Arsenal record. But after that goal, that's kind of where it went downhill for us, because we did have more chances, but our counter-attacks were pretty lethargic. We didn't really look too menacing going forward. It was in fact Liverpool that started to play that little bit better. We seemed to be the side that were tiring even more. I think we brought Chamberlain and Gibbs on that little bit too late. We needed a bit more energy a bit earlier on in that second half. We bought off Joel Campbell. Couldn't really understand that, because he was one of the more hard-working players in the side. He's that player that you know is going to track back, get a tackle in. So I didn't really understand why we took him off in the dying moments of the game with about, well, I say the dying moments with about 15-20 minutes to go, but we shouldn't have taken him off. Couldn't really understand why we brought Arteta on in those dying stages of the game, because he didn't seem to bolster our defensive situation in any way. I think given his age, given his frailties, he's not someone that is going to help us out too much in such a high intensity situation. Credit to him, he did do really well when he came off the bench in the game against Sunderland, but in a game such as this away from home at Anfield, I think it would have been a more preferable idea to bring on Callum Chambers from the bench. But in the end it did cost us. Joe Allen getting the goal, almost identical to how it went last season. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of positives to take from tonight. It's just the fact that we've come so close to getting the 3 points once again at Anfield, and we just let it go right at the final stage of the game. But can't keep going on about it all day. A point at Anfield on paper is a fairly decent result, but I still can't help but feel we should have come out of tonight's game, given that Liverpool had all their injuries, with 3 points to our name. But we've got a chance to get things right at Stoke City, turn over that horrible record we've got at Britannia, and claim 3 points there. We've got some very difficult games coming up, but games that we've got to be getting 3 points in. Anyway, leave your thoughts on tonight's game in the comments box below. It's been a very controversial performance from the Arsenal, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV if you are new to this channel. As always, I will speak to you very, very soon.